We are going to review Star Citizen in 2025. We've got all of the patches, all the major things that have happened. We've got all the ships. We're going to go through and we're going to use a rating system of thumbs up or thumbs down. And we are going to use people in the chat that are going to vote, and we're going to try and work out what we all feel about all these different things. Obviously, it's a small sample size, but it should be fun. And so first of all, we will start off with the first, I think, actual proper patch, 4.0.2. We found out that the Frontier fighters were the slicers, and then we had to do a load of missions to gather materials to get these items. You could do it in Pyro or Stanton. There was different missions, resupplying stuff. Datatrine, how do you say that? Datatrine, I think. And you had these warehouses, you had all this malarkey. So that's what that one was. What do we think about that one? No, don't think of resource drive. That's the other one. So let's have votes. We need 1 thumbs up, 2 in the middle, 3 down. And I'm going to try and somehow work out. I think on the whole, we're between 1s and 2s on that one. So we'll say that. Next up, 4.1 was Hathor and Wicklow. They're the major things. So I actually haven't even done this one yet. You do a load of stuff on the ground, go up to the space station, you put the laser on, and then basically you open up a cave, you do some mining. This is now crucial for things like the Wicklow stuff and the Polaris stuff. And then obviously the second part of this was Wicklow. So Wicklow comes in the game as like a system to collect things and trade them in for big things. That's basically how it works. Let's rank them separately. So first of all, Hathor. Would it be acceptable to say we're kind of in the middle on that one? We've got quite a few 2s, a couple of 3s, and a couple of 1s. The ones who put 3, is it because that's just not your sort of gameplay? Okay, well now we'll do Wicklow. Do you love our Banu friend? Has he stolen all your stuff and not given you what he was meant to? 3, 6. It's lots of people not happy with it. Thumbs down for Wicklow. Wicklow is getting lots of 3. We might have to come up. Oh, Riggs is going to a 1. 3. Lots of people. Okay, I think this one, it might be our first. It might even be a double thumbs down for Wicklow at this stage. We're long-term persistent not working. Wicklow is a clear 3. Yeah, lots of 3s on this one. Wicklow is the reason I chose you. You like the concept, but a bit over the top of the requirements. It could be that we don't like the implementation or the concept, or yeah, the requirements are quite intense. The fact that it doesn't work and things get wiped is problematic. You like the weapons and Sozamas, yeah. Now, 4.1.1. This is a funny old patch. Came with basically a load of kind of combat mission updates. So there was like ambushing, patrols, but the major thing for the patch, I believe, was it gave us a Hunt the Polaris mission, and maybe gave us script as well. Maybe this was where they introduced the script stuff. So we had script being introduced. Maybe we should put that as its own thing. But yeah, there's the big thing, I think, as a group that you could do on this one was this Hunt the Polaris stuff. And the Ghillie combat missions as well. Let's quickly rank this. Ghillie stuff everybody seems to be happy with. Okay, we'll give Ghillie a thumbs up. So he's the combat guy who gives you missions if you've not done that. The Hunt the Polaris mission. Now, again, this is the first time they did it, not the time that we just did it killing Amelia Boyd. So this is like back in May. Invictus, before Invictus, or no, at Invictus, I think. Performance was awful for this. Okay, I seem to be between 1s and 2s here. Seems to be generally thumbs up. I'd say we're leaning towards an up. I think we'll give that maybe we'll slightly make it like that. So we're kind of heading towards. It's fairly close to 1, isn't it? I think that's good. This is like patrol / ambush. Mostly seem to be quite positive there. Patrols 1s. Okay, we'll move on. I'd say that's mostly. That seems mostly positive. As a concept, are we liking script? It's quite underutilized as a concept, but it is a thing. What we're gonna get 2, 3 pointless news, more use better. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's a good. I think as an idea, it makes a lot of sense to have another more currency formats almost. But whether it's been actually utilized, it's like there-ish, isn't it? It's like slightly better than the middle. 4.2 and Worm, a whole big mission. Go into the storm, different locations. It's not an event, it's just a mission that you can go and do, and it culminates in a big fight with the Worm. I've done this once. I found it quite fun. It was, as a novelty, it was quite fun. Okay, so we're not I'd say overly positive on it. We're more kind of in the middle, few 1s, The idea that you go and do it multiple times might be part of it. The spectacle is 1, yeah. But you're happy with that one? 1. Your door, nice, Max. It's great until you try to get your loot out. Wow, yeah. 7 FPS at Swordbreaker, nice. That's not what you need, is it? First time 1, repeats 2, yeah. Maybe it's similar to this. We're edging towards being positive, but maybe not fully positive with that one. Now, let us move on to something that which could be controversial. If the image of this doesn't give people a nightmare, you've survived well. So this was a whole thing for the different companies. You go around and then you get some armor specific winnings depending on which group you did, and you ranked up your company and highest someone by an absolute mile. Best elevator combat in video game history, yeah. 1, did all 4. Yeah, some of you might have loved this, and you might have to go back to therapy after that image. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. First 100 boxes, much fun. Bugs creeping and wanted to die. Yeah, without bugs, 1. It's probably the most I played the game all year. That's probably the way to put it. As in, I fell in love with the raft at this event. You enjoyed it a lot, yeah. But it did really depend on how buggy it was. The thing with this was, if this had worked perfectly, it might have been one of the better things they'd ever done. Like, if it actually just been like perfect in terms of bugs. I don't know how to rate this. Obviously a lot of 3s, and I think we have to give it I think on the whole we have to give it a thumbs down. But people did enjoy it. I know people did. I personally did enjoy it, but I enjoyed it through gritted teeth. We'll add some text to this one. Some had fun. We'll do that. We had the first Onyx trip. So ASD locations initially, I can't remember exactly what they had, but it was quite limited in terms of the wings. 3 patches in a row was Onyx stuff. So the first iteration, you might not even remember. I'm not sure if I remember. So maybe just generally, let's just rank Onyx on this first one. Best looking location in the game, hard 1. Yeah, I think people would agree with that. 2, yeah. 1. Feeling quite positive about this. Science and engineering wings at first. Okay, thank you. Yeah, good. 1. Generally positive around this, looks like. So I think we're positive about that. 4.3.1, and then added the, I don't know, this bit down here, down the big elevator bit, where you go down to this section. What wing is this? What wing is this? I don't even know which wing this is. And so this added another section to it, and it added the story. Yeah, never been down here yet. So there's a whole, if you've not done it all, there's lots to do for a first time play, for sure. But then it is a case of people running it over and over again. I think generally, again, people are positive about this. Again, depending on how many times you do it. And then the Ormandy, this guy, the snake. So there's a whole snake battle down there. I've not done this one either, actually, so I couldn't comment on that one. I think on the whole, we're looking pretty positive on that one. And then, this might be my least favorite thing of the year. The Frontier Fighter Finale. Who even did this one? Yeah. So this was the one where there's a load of eliminate missions where you get FPS stuff that you had to do quite a lot of times. The patch as a whole was pretty broken. And then there was a second phase that came in week 2. And the third week was Hunt the Polaris again. We were killing Amelia Boyd over and over and over again. I thought this was the worst event that they've put out ever, I think. Boring missions, more than 50% failed. Yeah, there was lots of bugs with it. Did one of the rewards, so didn't bother. Yeah, 3. Bad implementation, I think. A shot at Polaris once to take the mission complete. Yeah, because you could just sit in a station and not do it. Well, maybe, and not everybody hated it. We'll give it a, it seems as though some people do. There's quite a few 3s. There is quite a few 3s. Nyx. Now, there's different, before we vote, there's different ways to think about this, because obviously you could come at this from how exciting it is. You could also come at it from how empty it is right now, and or broken maybe when you came to lag scheme potentially. It's all of it. We're carrying all of it. All of Nyx coming in 4.4. I guess I'll let you vote how you want. Lots of 2s, because I think it is a mixture, isn't it? It is a bit of good and a bit of bad. You want to get a 1 because you like the station, but 3 because of the boring missions, so go for it 2 maybe. Yeah, I think yeah, I mean, you have got the intersect stuff that you can run through, which is kind of the continuation of the Onyx stuff. I think we're probably, it seems, maybe giving this maybe it is a more of an actual bang in the middle of, like, it's a mix, isn't it? This is now obviously slightly kind of happening as we speak, but we've obviously got engineering the PTU that's going to release, you'd think by the end of this week, maybe. Now, engineering, obviously, I don't know how much you've been in the PTU. It's balance-wise is all over the place. It's an early attempt, so I don't know how we rank this. Get it out, just get it out. I think extremely underwhelming, at least something. That might be a good way to sum it up. Yeah, Armor is just another HP pool. Yes, that's the problem. I'm happy because they're moving along. Yes, even if it's a tier 0, it's good to have it out. Love the drama. You want it live now. Waiting for live with an open mind. Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, quite a few ones. Is a mess, but the potential is there. But that's a good way to sum it up. Yeah. So I think we may be judging it on like the long-term future of engineering, but we seem to mostly be quite positive. And I think getting it out on the whole for pure soul farming, I think getting it out is good. We'll give it a like a wonky thumbs up because it is good as the fact that it's coming into the game after all this time, and it now allows them to put it in the game and then just work on it for the next however long they need. And then VR. This is the final major thing that I think we're going to see coming with 4.5. If you've tried it, I think I can guess what you're going to do. For me, a very nice bonus at the end of the year, VR. It's not like it's perfect, and maybe we should say, maybe to be fair to them, because it's not like a full, they're not claiming that this is like a full VR implementation. I think VR on the whole, we give it a thumbs up. As an experimental version, I think we're very happy with that. It's not perfect, but absolute massive bonus bit of fun at the end of the year. But yeah, Sylvan's smashed it. It's something that I would say everybody who likes SC should try at least once. You should have that experience of like just looking around the cockpit, the scale of everything, flying through some asteroids. I really do want to try the worm in VR. I know the actual combat and FPS isn't great. It's not really what it's meant for, but I'd love to just be underneath the worm as he's flailing around, shooting stuff out. I think I'd like to try that. This is what CIG talked about in their letter from the chairman last year. They talked about this year was going to be a year of stability, performance, content. Do we think CIG have done a good job this year on the whole? We seem to be generally happy with stability. Most people, not everybody. I think we're giving stability a 1. Now, performance. I personally have done some testing on performance throughout the year. It's gone up and down, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your performance? Are we happy with what CIG has done with performance this year? Again, 1, 2, or 3 for performance. Has it gone in a good direction? Has nothing happened maybe for 2, or has it got worse? 3? Okay, I think on the whole we've gone for 2s there, so we'll give that a 2. I guess content is all the stuff we've just ranked, like the Hathor stuff, all the events, the missions they're put in, Stormbreaker, all the Onyx stuff. You may not have loved all of this stuff, but my personal thought would be that even if I didn't want to do some of these things, I'm glad that they've broadened the stuff that's in the game. Too much theme park. Yeah, so that's a fair point. Some people will look at these and be like, this just isn't what I want from the game. Other people will say, well, that is what, this is the problem. Everybody wants different things. So lots of 1s, awesome 2s, all boring generic missions. We're not 2s there as well. Love the effort. There were some meh moments, but generally was good. Yeah, I think we're mainly on the up, but it's not like a full thumbs up, I don't think, on content. I think, again, some people would look at this and be like, this just didn't appeal to me. Right, let's go through this. Let's do them one by one. We'll start off with Planet Tech. How can anybody vote anything but a thumbs up for the Planet Tech? It looks great, but it has nothing to gameplay performance. That's fair. But as an individual piece of tech, as a piece of like eye candy. But yes, you could say there's no actual gameplay coming with this, and there's no. Well, it's interesting. The year before, they did say there would be, in theory, like locations scattered across new planets using their new Genesis tech. We'll see. At the moment, we're literally just seeing an incredible looking planet. I'm giving it a 1. I don't care if a few of you have said no. I think most of us have given it a big thumbs up for the Planet Tech. Next, Rockbreaker. So now we're ranking like the announcement and the kind of the concept of them. Do we like the concept of these? Rather than, we obviously haven't played any of these. Rockbreaker. So this is like a mining focused thing, but also, so there's a Hathor in space. Yeah. So you might think, oh, some lovely mining, but it really is actually probably more of a PvP combat thing by the way they talked about it. people fighting over the resources. 3, it's in Nyx. What's wrong with Nyx? 2, Rock Breaker South, copy paste. Yeah, I think there's a case where it is pretty much copy pasted to Hathor, but in space. Mare for you, mediocre, yeah. 2, 3. Not massively interested in Hathor, but I think we're probably in the middle for that. Few 1s, few 2s, few 3s. Lots of meh 2s. Do not like this combat focused. Yeah, maybe it remains to be seen on some of these how they'll turn out. The municipal works is like, so this is like, this was going to be an Area 18. It's now like instanced content in Levski that you and your friends go through. You run through it, so it is kind of PvE, I guess, completely, because you're just in your own little instance. What are we thinking about this one? Okay, 2 looks sweet. 1s, like, you really started to like the PvE content. Nice. Yeah, and this, some people will like it, some people won't. 1, your kind of jam, yeah. Hoofy 1, don't care about it, to be honest, yeah. Okay, and the whole, we seem to be slightly more positive about this one than, maybe that sums up the crowd. Maybe we're more PvE rather than Rock Breaker, which maybe looks a bit more PvE. We'll give that a mostly thumbs up. The tactical strike group stuff. So this is very much, I guess, PvE, but it's ship group content. The plan with this is that you go in with a group. You've got this space station to assault effectively. You've got to do a trench Death Star run type thing. Big battle going on. Tactical strikes, 1s. Yeah, 3. 1. Love PvE, but can't go past a good dungeon crawl. Nice. Mostly solo play, so we'll probably never do, but it looks cool. Yeah, this I think will almost guarantee. There's no chance of soloing this. This will require multiple people doing multiple things, maybe at the same time. So it's going to require groups, maybe orgs, 1 all the way. Give it to me now and give me a camera on observe everyone doing it. Yeah. I wonder when this will come this year. I wonder how close this could be. Might come with social. Yeah, you'd hope for social tools. I think we're happy about this one. We're quite positive about that. Okay, and just the general. This will get a feel for what you're saying. The idea of instancing, and they announced that they'd be doing Benoit's PvP Me Bro section somewhere. So basically, we want to do more instancing. We're going to instance things like Siege. So on the whole, are we happy with this? On the whole, we're looking quite positive, especially on YouTube. Almost everybody's put a 1. But I personally would agree. I don't know if I would give it a 1. I personally, I think maybe not 3 like Fran's saying, but it does depend on how they do this. And so solid 2 needs clarification. Yeah, that probably sums it up. Okay, well, I think on the whole, we've gone positive. So we'll give it a positive there. Then they did their crafting update, crafting machines. They talked about being able to do small items. And they said, I don't know if they said it here, but somewhere, there'll be, in theory, a tech preview by the end of the year, which, again, now is about in the next week. We knew about crafting before. Are we happy with this first? Getting it in the game? I mean, they're not getting it in the game. They're getting it in the tech preview. They're getting some feedback is what they said. Are we happy with this first attempt? Yeah, meh, but at least it's something. Yeah, 1s, crafting 1. Got to start somewhere, 1. We're all thinking it's good that it's coming. Obviously, it's not going to maybe change the game in the first update, but it's on the way. With interstellar cargo stuff, this must be some of your guys' jam. Talking about different game styles to different people. Some people, how many of you have been doing any of this? Interstellar stuff, we're all happy about this. 1s on the whole. Yeah, I mean, the game needed it, yeah. The Nyx, that Chris at the start just goes, oh, and here you go. Nyx is coming like next month. And maybe you'd question Nyx's implementation, but Chris announcing Nyx, it was a good moment, I think, on the whole. I know that it's not completely clean because of how it came out. Now, we've had a couple of months to kind of stew on it, what we think about it. Let's have your ranks versus incons. So we've got a 1, 2, some 2s. I think we'll give that a, it was fairly in the middle. There we go. That is the year in review for Star Citizen 2025. Overall, you guys are saying that's pretty positive. I think if we were just to summarize this, you can see styles of gameplay. Most of the PvP guys were saying it wasn't a great year for them in terms of things to do. PvE, most people were happy. Again, those things that came into the game were quite satisfying, I think, for most PvE guys. And again, from a theme park point of view, lots of different rides to go on this year that they provided, but from a sandbox point of view, not great. Industrial in the middle again. Events, some of these were great, some of these were bad. Multiplayer and solo, people maybe were slightly happy with being solo players with the stuff that was in this year, but from a multiplayer point of view, probably tied into the sandbox side of things as well, not massive. And then we tried to rank what it'd be like if you were an actual griefer, and we couldn't. And then quick rundown of the ships. Well, video content we weren't happy with. The Misk Fortune, thumbs up. The Hornets, kind of okay. Very happy with the Golem. I won't do them all because it's too much. Idris, most people were happy, although there was paid to win concerns. Asgard, everybody was very happy about the Asgard. We like the Asgard. Not so keen on the Meteor and general. The Kruger, the Wolves, both Wolves we were happy with. Not interested in the Apollo, lacking gameplay. Paladin, people were happy with. People mixed on the Shiv. Perseus, very happy. People like the Salvation on the whole. The Clipper, most people, although some people hate it. The Golem stuff, again, the Ox people like. And again, the L22 people love. And then overall, the community, you guys in the chat for Twitch and YouTube, mostly were quite thumbs uppy on the whole, probably about there. My personal rating, I'd probably put it more there-ish. I think it's been saved by some of the stuff coming in the end of the year. Having this like Nyx and then engineering and VR, I think has meant that it's been like a big positive end to the year. But for long chunks of the year, because there was no video content, for me personally, I was like, it feels like I'm done. Like we're running out of air. Like there's no news about how we get all of this towards 1.0. But then towards the end of the year, it has been quite positive. So there you go. That is the summary of the year, the review of Star Citizen 2025.